Hi, everybody. Welcome to the QB School. I am JT O'Sullivan. Today, Bryce Young, Week 16, overtime win, locked in, fired up. Let's get it going. Welcome to the QB School. Before we dive into the video, a quick reminder about the Quarterback School Patreon community. This group is the foundation, the bedrock of the channel. Not only is it a great, inexpensive way to support the channel, but you get even more Quarterback School content. So hop over there, join, become a member. I appreciate your support. As for this video, let's get into it. Bryce Young, the Panthers, overtime win at home versus the Cardinals right here. First play of the game. Your boy, down here to the bottom, 19. I mean, the release is pretty sweet. The throw looks underthrown to me, maybe a little inside. Certainly looks like he could catch it. I didn't care enough to go back and watch the broadcast to see if it went right through his hands. It looks like it goes through his hands. You know, I know we've got 19's family in the comments probably, but this is one of those ones for me. A few things. Okay, the first thing here is this is pretty nice. Like this release down here to the bottom to kind of and then accelerate. And again, we probably just don't believe this is going to happen. So he gets it. My thing here, could you fade him out a little bit? Maybe. I personally think a perfect throw is usually right down the red line, right down the line of the receiver. This ball's probably slightly inside, but man, we got to make this play too. So, you know, it's all of those things. I don't think this play is probably necessarily designed to take a shot, but middle field close, press man, buddy ball. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely not a perfect throw. Is it catchable? Probably. You know, does the DB get his hand in there? I don't know. Maybe. He thinks he does. Big time opportunity there. I love the aggressiveness though early. I will say, you know, I'm not going to say it every throw, but I think it's worth reinforcing every video with Bryce Young. The toesiness of it, to me, continued to lose just a little bit of gas. This thing comes out a little short. It's got some dog ears to it. You know, not necessarily the perfect spiral. Maybe a little wind, maybe a little wet thumb. But man, that would have been nice to get us going. Next one here, 3rd and 4. The first of a number of examples of Bryce Young using his feet to go get some first downs and some big plays. Right here, it looks like we checked the protection to a 7-person protection, thinking we might have 0. They run to closed. He doesn't like it, use his legs, and run through somebody. Now, again, you probably don't want your quarterback taking hits like this, but I personally love seeing Bryce Young, the football player. He's in total command at the line of scrimmage here. You can see him check whatever the protection is, bring the tight end in here, thinking we might get 0, 7-person protection. Then we got to go. We don't like it down the field. We'll talk about it. But this decision right here, we're not sliding. We're trying to make somebody miss and go forward. But that's a big collision. That's a nice open field tackle too. But he's got enough juice there to go get a first down. So there's a lot here to enjoy. First, the toolkit at the line of scrimmage, block it up. So 7-person protection. At this point, you know, who the hell knows what this is going to be? Right? This sure looks like it could be 0. They're trying to at least present 0. So once you have 7-person protection, meaning the 5 offensive linemen, tight end, and back, as soon as someone runs to the middle of the field, theoretically, you should be fine. You got a lot of one-on-one blocks potentially, but you won't have a +1. At that point, for me, read-wise, as soon as we do this, I personally think he's got our guy, you know, in the flat. Now, they make some good money on this, what I'm used to calling sail route, kind of some iteration of a flood down here to the bottom. You know, you also have to know your personnel. This guy, okay, number 3, in my opinion, a very good football player. He's got kind of a nose for the ball. I think of him as a slightly undersized kind of guesser, and that's not always a bad thing, but he's going to give you some non-traditional looks sometimes. And so, you know, first thing here, let's just appreciate the slot here. Could we throw this on time once the guy runs to the middle of the field? Now just play it out. And then again, down here to the bottom. On time, first down. I think yes. Now maybe not with that, you know, backpedally drop. By the time he's at the top of his drop right there, Thielen's almost in the Gatorade. Now let's watch Buddha. He's the defender on the number 3. To me here, he's squatting and guessing, right? Like if we just run right by him, which they kind of do later, not necessarily the same leverage, but if you were to just, speed this thing, he's guessing. He's playing the sticks here. So again, you just have to know your personnel. Regardless, Bryce Young doesn't like it, go get it yourself. Be a football player, run through a big collision. There's a lot there. There's a lot to like from a quarterback perspective. There's also a lot to like as a football guy. Your teammates are going to gravitate towards you. You're running through someone. You're not turning it down. You're not sliding. You're not jumping head first. You got to go get it. It's not there. Bam. Hell yeah. Next one here, 3rd and 6. Now, I love the design of this play. I straight up love this formation. 4x1, kind of medium bunch. We're going to end up hitting the number 2 on what I'm used to calling like a little whip route. Now, we don't get the first down, and that's an issue. But we end up getting the first down on a 4th down run. So Bryce Young plays this play perfectly. A little simulated pressure. The ball's out away from the near defender. There is a lot to love about this. So first off here, this formation, right down my alley. Okay, so this is a 4x1. So 4 eligibles, 1 eligible, but kind of a non-traditional bunch. Okay, it's kind of in that medium no man's land. Oftentimes you'll see bunch, like right here, tight bunch. The reason that I love quads bunch so much is that this gets many teams out of their traditional bunch checks. So it's very hard to play man out here and then kind of box this thing with 4 defenders when you've got an eligible outside the bunch. So it's a beautiful little wrinkle. Then what's going on here? So we've got to go. The Cardinals are actually kind of lucky that the Panthers are running what I'm going to say is a corner or a 7 here and not a seam. I think if you had a seam here, this is probably a big hit. But then we're going to get the number 2 up top. He's running that what I'm calling this little whip. And the only thing I would add here is, we probably get lost as far as where we are in the field because the ball is right on the, 25 and a half. He's lined up, damn near on the 28. So if you could hug this a little bit tighter with your, not be on the line of scrimmage, just be a little bit tighter to make sure you got past the sticks, I think would be the big coaching point on this one. And then it looks like they've got Thielen trying to get to that initial flat. So you've kind of got this option in the flat. You've got this arrow coming out of it right at the same level, right at the sticks. It's just a really well-designed offensive architecture type play to give Bryce multiple chances. So Thielen, no, again, they're not doing him any favors in my opinion. You talk about the speed, but if you're going to allow him to be the 3rd guy like this just takes way too long. I mean, we are just running in mud here. And that's just the reality of it. So it's not going to be there. Nice job going 1 to 2. And again, the other thing that I love about the throw is the inside defender running to it. You got to put that ball away from the near defender. So he just does a great job with the ball location on top of the design. Really spectacular 3rd down offense. Bam. Quick, sudden, 1 to 2 on him. Hell yeah. And again, you can see the suddenness, the quickness that Bryce can play with when he's decisive. They're spread out, a little simulated pressure. So we're bringing 4. The right edge player's dropping out. 3 behind it. Boom. Quick, sudden, on him. Next one here, 2nd and 2. This one's a bummer. We're going to throw a corner to the number 3 down here to the bottom. Verse 0. We've got it. I think this is pretty much a perfect throw. It's one of those things where it's not easy to get your 2nd foot down, but this is one of those ones we have to get our 2nd foot down. I mean, it's a hell of a catch, one-handed catch, but that's well inside the sideline. 1, 2. And again, it's a hell of a catch. No doubt about it. One-handed, left down, right, got to get it in. Now, the other thing here, and, a lot of this is preference. Some of it is just, for me, it's probability. I personally think that this throw on a corner like this is much more difficult than what I would consider like a short in or a slant. So for me here, and I make no bones about it, I'm a big fan of this guy. Okay, I the little I watch of the Panthers, I share on the channel. So everything I've ever watched with him, this dude can play. And so I personally would probably love for the ball to go here and just big body him on a little bit more safe, easier throw, in my opinion. Now, if Bryce feels like, hey, I don't know if I'm going to have that, I like the corner. Okay. The other thing I would add here is normally this type of play with the 2 and the 3 doing this is paired with the number 1 doing this as well. I would be really surprised if he's running like a double move into the same space as a corner. So he doesn't help it. You know, you've got 2 tight ends out here. This guy kind of hanging out in no man's land and kind of drifting into our area probably doesn't help this execution of this catch either. But man, hard to look at this film and not say, hey, let's take a peek and get zero the rock here on this type of opportunity. So watch him as he comes across. Get in there. Big winner. Get off me. And again, who knows what 82 is supposed to be doing down here to the bottom. Regardless, for Bryce Young, he throws the one that he likes. I mean, I like the leverage of the corner as soon as he gets outside right there. Quick, sudden, great touch. And again, could easily be a touchdown. 2nd and 2. We end up getting, I think, a delay the next one, get a little lucky on 3rd and 7 to get a touchdown on this drive. But this is one of those ones where, yeah, oh my goodness, help us out. Get that foot in. Next one here, Bryce Young, massive scramble. So big play action, 12 personnel. Fake it up, no hesitation, get up, man coverage. Nobody's got eyes on the quarterback. You go get a huge chunk. Punt return right here. Just a beautiful job from Bryce Young. Used his legs multiple times in this game. No hesitation. Nice base. Protect the ball. Doesn't look slow. Running away from people. Protecting yourself. Play all the way through the white. Just a really nice job. And again, at the top of this thing, you've got all this man coverage everywhere, right? You've got guys running. You've got man. Hey, waiting for that other eligible to get out. As we go to run, no one's eyes waiting on the back. No one's eyes are on the quarterback. So really, it's a glorified tackling drill with the free safety in a lot of space. So really nice job. And again, this is the type of stuff that will eventually, hopefully, get teams away from playing man coverage versus you. Like if you're going to take off like this on 1st and 10, we got to be a little bit more conscious of the quarterback moving, because really his legs gave the Panthers a great opportunity early in this game. Multiple times being able to create, extend. This is a massive back-breaking chunk play. Love it. Next one here, 3rd and 7. Beautiful touchdown run from Bryce Young here. I had to watch this thing like 10 times. I still don't know why there's a flag necessarily thrown at the bottom left of this at the end. But this is a great job from Bryce Young again. Creating, not there, go get a first down. I'm going to go score. Extend, create, protect yourself. Beautiful job. So we'll talk about maybe where this ball could go. But this is one of those things where he doesn't like it for whatever reason. Get up, go. He's used his feet multiple times. Hubbard does a nice job here getting 2. And you can see that flag come in. I'm going to say it's illegal contact out here on 23, on 0. But this is a great job right here of just getting into the end zone, extending, creating a playmaker. Now, what's going on here scheme-wise? So, to me here, 3-by-1. Okay, as far as a formation. Again, a little of that medium bunch kind of in no man's land. What they end up running scheme-wise here is hitting the middle of the field. And then we've got Thielen on this little like double move, nod, post thing. It is paired with what I'm used to calling a corner stop down here, or a swirl. So normally in a 3-by-1 formation like this, to get a coverage indicator, you will be on the weak safety. So what is this weak safety doing? Is he poaching or tricksing the vertical of number 3 to the passing strength side? Or is he bracketing, coning down here to the bottom? What's going on? My complaint about this play is that if we're going to try to do this, and essentially this is just glorified double post like this. First of all, I want to know where 3 is. Okay, right there. He's a guesser, in my opinion. That doesn't mean you never throw to him. You just need to be aware of that. So if this is the, we'll call the weak safety here, what is he doing? I personally don't love running the 7-stop or swirl like this, because as soon as you lean to the corner, a lot of times these guys will then fall in to the vertical of number 3. So I always prefer a more like traditional deep dig, deep curl, something to be a vertical threat to that safety with an inside release. Could Bryce Young throw this ball right there at the back line? I think like at the top of the L in the end zone. I probably think yes. Now again, is this a bad decision? No, absolutely not. We're going to play it out though. Okay, so we're watching the point on the bunch up top. Do we have that throw back in the end zone? Now again, I'm going to be super cognizant of where the hell 3 is. But in this type of formation, I'm also going to be aware of what that back safety is doing. So you've really got your kind of eyes on those safeties. Again, it doesn't help that we get kind of held up here. And this is probably where the penalty is, in my opinion, right there, holding past 5 yards. But man, if we don't put it this way, if we were to scramble here and not get the first down, okay, and I was doing what I do with the film, I would say, man, the ball probably has to be thrown here. This is there in red zone, 3rd down offense. We've got an opportunity to throw a touchdown. Let that thing rip at the back line. Right? And again, I don't know what his drop is supposed to be. I'm probably going to say it's not supposed to look like that, where it's kind of like a little recessy. But man, I would love to throw that thing right now at the back line. As soon as Buddha turns like that, boop, I got it. And again, you can't underthrow it because the safety will take it. But if you throw it high on the back 5, got it. Regardless, great job from Hubbard blocking 2. Nice job getting into the end zone. Hell yeah. I'm never a huge fan of the back cutting people. But again, if you're going to cut someone, pop up, get somebody else too. You got to love that. So he doesn't like it. And again, we're not in the quarterback room. I can't tell you what the drop is supposed to be. I would guess 3 from gun. He kind of takes drifty, recessy. He decides to go, use his legs. Again, really nice blocks down the field. Borderline bear hug from my guy 0 down the field. Scramble, touchdown, hell yeah. Very next play here, little play action. We're going to end up hitting what I'm going to call the sail by the number 1 down here to the bottom, 83. Now it ends up being a nice little medium chunk. I'm glad the throw kind of protects him here, bringing it down. But this is a bit of a unique look. It's not an easy look for Bryce Young. I would say if he had to do this over again, he probably throws it to the guy going in motion, 13. But it's what I mean when I say it's a unique look is we're going to hit him in motion here. This is where we're going to run this sail route. So we're going to sell the over and then come out of this thing usually somewhere around 15. The guy going in motion here, as he comes across, he runs what I'm used to calling like a clear route on the outside, trying to occupy that safety to this side. This is a normal-ish look. Now, what's not normal is the corner right here ends up blitzing. So the back is already there because we're play faking. But the thing with Bryce here is that he's turning his back for the play fake. So it's going to be really hard to see this corner blitz off the edge. But again, if you had to do this over again and you saw it at all, you would almost throw like kind of almost a honey hole kind of uncovered look where you would just drive it at about 15 yards on the sideline. You'll be able to see it. It's not easy to see. This is one of those reps where you got to bank it and kind of maybe get a pre-snap indicator if you can see that safety cheating way over. But it's almost impossible when you turn your back with the play action to say, hey, yeah, I'm going to see this all the time. You're just not. But you can see down here to the bottom. If you were to just raise up and throw it right at the end, down here to the bottom on your Inspire, regardless here, a few things. One, I prefer this sail route to come out flat to protect yourself from this type of throw. To me, this gets a little bit, if you start drifting it up, it's kind of buyer beware as far as the route runner. But again, it's one of those things where this is not a perfect look. It's kind of a unique defensive look, but we still get a big chunk completion. And I think those are personally great signs from a quarterback, from an offense, from a unit. The play's not perfect. We solve it. We're not getting hit. We're protecting our guy, kind of. Again, if you're like me, you're watching the kind of, rocking high heels back here. Yo! Sinker. Boom. Hell of a catch. Next one here, 3rd and 8, touchdown pass to ya boy. The number 2 up top, 19 on the corner. Probably a defensive miscommunication on probably multiple levels. But this is one of those things. This is a very nice job from Bryce Young, seeing it, throwing it to his guy. Nice job catching it. I think he's closer to the sideline than he is, but still, that's a beautiful job of being able to convert down there in the red zone. So what's going on here? I'm used to calling this a corner. And then to me, this is like a flat china or a little loop return. So you're going to set it like you're running a flat and then come back underneath. So what I'm always looking for in any iteration of 3-by-1 coverage where we're going to catch middle field open, okay, how are they sorting this out? Are they playing traditional zone? Are they trying to bracket this thing? You know, the traditional bracket here is going to be with the corner playing some iteration of Meg. So he's going to have the number 1. So does this corner, even if he's off and they're playing stump, does he have this guy one-on-one? If that's the case, they're almost always playing some iteration of 2/3 here. So as we run up, someone needs to run with him. I'm assuming it's probably the nickel. If it's not, it's definitely the safety. One of these two is supposed to be running with the corner. When nobody does, really everything is just on the eyes of what that corner does. As soon as that corner hesitates to come down on that little China route, we're going to throw it right behind him. So again, that's a lot of moving parts to say this guy is probably wrong, but we still need to confirm that this corner is not playing quarters. He's not going to fall off on that corner. As soon as he hesitates at all to come down on that flat China, we've got this thing right behind him. So again, really nice job. This big time ball, take advantage of their mistakes. They got to be sound. If they're not, you got to make them pay. Right there, boom. And again, you can see that. Watch the corner up top. As he goes from tight to into the end zone, eyes are right on him. As soon as he drives that thing to on 34 right there, we've got 19. And you can see Bryce is throwing it right on time. And again, someone's supposed to be running with Thielen. Okay, you don't have to be a defensive guru to realize somebody is probably in the wrong. No apologies, though. Touchdown pass, hell yeah. And again, really decisive, nice vision. Great job from Bryce seeing it, giving his guy a chance. Beautiful touch. Hell yeah. All right, into the second half here. We got Thielen coming across. He's going to end up running a little flat. Now, who knows if this is a choice or not, but this is third and 3. Right past the sticks. Beautiful job. There's a lot of little nuance and detail that they either do on purpose or fall into here that we're going to appreciate. First of all, going from 3-by-1 to 2-by-2. They rock and roll the safeties. We get all sorts of space here. So the first thing here is, who do we want? Anytime you're going to motion like this and you're playing a team that doesn't travel, so they don't run Buddha across. They do what I'm used to calling rock and roll the safety. So he comes down, he comes back, those types of things. So to me, as soon as you've got a team like this, we can dictate which one of these guys we want in coverage. So that's the first part of this that I love. So as he comes across, we've got the guy that we want. The next part about this is we've got bump down here on our tight end. Now, if he has a must outside release go, and he has what we'll call a flat or a choice route, the first thing to notice is the trail technique from 19. This is a really nice job. Then he gets past the sticks and runs out of this thing. I personally love the fact that he doesn't. Now, again, this could be a best release. It could be a must outside release. We don't know. But he doesn't just run straight. That's the point that I want to really make, because if we come down here and he has outside leverage and he just runs straight, there's really no pick. But because he goes to where he's going to be, and again, whether this is an accident or on purpose, it works out great for us. So he widens. This makes this DB widen and the guy who's covering him. Now we've got to go way over the top to come out here and make this flat for a first down. So it's not just, hey, we got the matchup we wanted. We also got a little bit of a pick, and Thielen does a great job of getting in that trail pocket exhaust technique spot. So again, look at that outside release. We actually get a little bit of friendly fire. 19 does a nice job not going down there. And that's just a really nice first down. Look at the space. Again, when he's throwing that thing, look at the space for us. That's as much space as you'll ever see on a 3rd and 3. So really nice execution, lots of nuance, detail to be able to manufacture that type of throw for us to the short side of the field with that much space, ball out on time, easy first down. Next one, your 3rd and 6. We're going to stay with that 19 on a heater. He's up top. He's the number 2. This is a little wheel route, back shoulder. You get a little friendly fire rub. I love the throw. Excellent execution. Again, third down offense at a really high level, super decisive. We're scheming guys with some space. Again, in my opinion, lots of detail going on here. So first thing here is we're going to watch the number one's release. So he's going to run in whatever the hell he has here. We'll call it a seam. As he comes in, it's going to bring the guy covering him with him. We're then going to get some friendly fire by the guy who's guarding Thielen. So they're going to run into each other right here. That's a shame, right? Once he bubbles over the top, so Thielen hits it like this, and the defender goes over the top of these two, that creates the space to now say to the quarterback, that's a back shoulder throw. And again, you got to execute it at a high level on third and medium in the league, but just watch that friendly fire up top. It's going to create the space on Thielen for that back shoulder right. Boop. As soon as he goes over the top, you throw it right at Thielen. So again, and Bryce Young is playing this super quick, great base, ball out, decisive, good enough arm strength, precise ball location. It's excellent third down offense, man. He looks so comfortable, smooth, decisive, like he's got the answers to the test. Executing at a really high level. I love it. Next one here, 3rd and 3, balls on the 11. I'm used to calling these 4-point third downs. We're going to end up throwing this thing away. I'm probably going to make the argument that the ball probably could be thrown to 19 here on the back line. Now, again, I like the fact that Bryce is being decisive to get out of there. And it can't be me talking out both sides of my mouth here, because him using his legs has gave them an opportunity to win this thing and be in this thing and have some big chunk plays. But there is a very sweet spot that quarterbacks live in where you got to be able to play this thing on time. And again, we're not in the room. I can't tell you exactly what the hell we're supposed to do with this ball here, but there's nothing down here, and his eyes aren't down here. Up top, though, we're going to get this, we'll call it like a seam clear, and then we've got 19 running what looks like is a double move, like a little wheel and up. And to me, this type of route on this type of down and distance, I would want that ball thrown on the back line. Now, that's the front line, but just think the very back of the end zone here. Now, it's not wide open, but it's there. The other thing to at least acknowledge here is I can't tell you what this coverage is. You know, are they trying to double somebody? We've got an extra hole thief rat player in the middle. You know, what's going on here? Maybe that's why Bryce decides to take off. Now, the good thing is he doesn't make this thing a disaster, but I would love to have Thielen get the ball right there. And again, easy for me to say, but when you are running sideways like this, trying to sell this, and you've got the DB going with you, and you turn it up and you baseball turn him, so he's got to turn in or turn out, and you create any sort of space, you know, that's as good as anything in this type of situation, especially if your eyes are working this side. Now, if his eyes were working down here, well, then I totally understand, hey, I don't love that. That's not enough space for me to throw in. Now we got to go create. But there's really, it doesn't look like there's like a full field progression here where something would come open on the backside. You know, so if you work the bottom, yeah, take off. If you're working up top, let's throw it. Let's throw it. It's not wide open, but we drive that thing, put it just outside the A up top. Maybe we got a touchdown pass. So again, where is he looking? I guess to the right, question mark. I mean, it looks right there. He's looking to the right. You know, again, what is 3 doing? I know I've said this multiple times now, but when you play a guy like this, he's going to muddy some looks. So is he supposed to be getting to the post? You know, are we doubling 19? Are we doubling someone? You know, he ends up just kind of muddying the look so that the guy who's the number 1 outside, as he goes through here, it looks congested. But man, a few opportunities where you can still see some growth where maybe we pull the trigger on some of these red zone plays, make this thing even a better earlier win. Next one, 2nd and 7. This is a hell of a throw from Bryce Young. My goodness. He's going to hit the inline tight end up top on a little, call it a crosser. Now, this is an absolute shot. And this sure looks like he has some collision to his head and neck area here. But I'm not sure exactly how he plays this play like this, because I think you have to acknowledge the fact that he probably doesn't see the edge on the right 25. But he takes a massive hit here. So 7 is unblocked in the A gap. You can see Bryce tracking 82 here. Getting enough depth, he gets it off. I mean, he has hit right. Look, watch his head snap back. Oh my God. And again, it goes around 25. That's a hell of a catch as well, but that is a monster shot. And again, I know I talk about this damn near once a week on this channel, but this protection to me is one of those protections that is, it looks great, but it is not the most sound protection in the world. And so what we're end up doing here is it looks like we've got this little like Greg Roman special down here to the bottom, and here's that crosser coming across. And this guy right here, unblocked through the A gap, and somehow Bryce navigates that and 25 dropping into the area. So I think it's a combination of a really remarkable play, slightly fortunate play, and then again, another example of how this pass pro is unsound. Okay, now, that being said, I would love it if the back saved us here. So I always cite that example of this to me is long trap action or trap pass, whatever you want to call it here, where we're faking this way. Usually it's the guard that goes. Right here they have the center pop out. And again, the kind of story here is the Tom Brady, Peyton Manning conversation where they talked about this play. Tom wanted to put it in. They ended up putting it in. And he and Belichick talk about it, I think on like top 100 players talk. I'll put the little thing up here in the corner so you can be able to see exactly where it is. But at the end of that little talk, after Tom tells a story about it, Bill basically says, yeah, and it's unsound. And what's unsound about it is that if we're fanning out here and we're pulling out here to the outside guy, down here, that's a tough angle. Well, who does the back have? Because we're play faking this way. Does he have this guy? Is it a 1-to-2 duel? You know, very rarely do you want a free runner through the A or the B gaps. Okay, so A gap, B gap, A gap, B gap. I think pretty sound pass pro rules are to never have free runners through the A or the B gap. So this is a free runner through the A gap. If I had to guess how this is played out, I would say the back is supposed to, abort the fake and come back and block this thing. Maybe the center's not supposed to pull. There's lots of different ways to handle it. But you would normally it's this guy has the best seat in the house. He needs to save us and take the hit off the quarterback. So that's what I would guess probably they're counting on here. Regardless, okay, a lot of talking for me to say Bryce Young, hell of a play. And again, if 25 drops on the hash instead of to the middle, that's probably a pick. So it can be a hell of a play. It can be unsound pass pro. It can be a little fortunate. A lot going on. Big time play. Next one, 2nd and 5 from the 18. Beautiful touchdown pass. We're going to throw up top a little fade route. This is a hot fade. We're going to have a free rusher up top in the C gap. Bryce got to be able to get it up and down, press coverage, condensed formation, see it, throw it, don't even get hit, drop it right in the bucket. This is simply a beautiful throw. Thought Bryce showed off some pretty outstanding touch in this game. You can see that free runner to the left. Not a perfect snap. Dot of a throw. Just awesome execution here. This is not the easiest thing in the world to do. I would say most people playing this when you have a hot or free runner here. So unblocked right there. Great. We're going to have fade versus press up top here, right? We're also going to have a flat. A lot of people would just say, hey, come out, throw the flat. But I love taking a shot here, especially versus press. Again, all you have to do is navigate this free runner. You know how much time you have because he's right in your face. Right? You hear me say all the time, let's have the free runner into the face of the quarterback so he can see how much time he has. And this is a perfect example of that. And it's great touch. It really is. This is Bryce playing at an extremely high level. Love the communication up front. Everybody's blocked up. Take a shot, drop it in the bucket. That is outstanding offense. This really is. This is fun to watch Bryce be able to operate at this kind of level. Set this thing up. It almost looks like he gives a little signal there to the number 1 down there at the bottom, a little shoulder tap. If he did that, it's even more impressive. Just beautiful, man. Quick, sudden, look at the base. Everything except all his cleats in the ground. Ball up, and then again, touch. Watch this thing drop right into the bucket. Boop. Such a good throw. The corner can't even find it. Corner gets his head around, but the ball's already on top of him. Awesome. Next one here, 3rd and 5. Just under 3 minutes left to go. Trying to close this thing out in regulation. We're going to end up working a flood up top. We're going to hit the number 3 on a sail. There's a lot to like here. I love the fact that we're attacking 3. Again, talked about it a few times already, but guesser, 3rd down, 3rd medium, anticipate him sitting at sticks. He's got inside leverage. We've got an outside breaking route. Look at all that space for us. Just simply outstanding. So again, we called a similar play like this earlier where I thought maybe he could throw it to the number 2 on that kind of flat. But I love this because we've got 3 right here. We probably want him attacking coverage. He's going to be inside leverage, sitting there because it's 3rd medium, right? He's going to be playing the sticks, and we're going to come out here and just run away. And so it's a beautiful job of getting there, seeing it, hooking it up. Great call, 3-by-1, a little open nub. Middle field closed, man. Again, I know they know what they're doing on defense in Arizona. I would say traditionally, with middle field closed, man coverage like this, anything inside what defensive guys would call dividers, offensive guys can just call like the numbers. Traditionally, you would have outside leverage on this guy because you're trying to funnel everything to that safety. So the fact that all these guys are inside leverage to me is a choice that I'm happy to see if I'm an offensive player, especially if we've got outbreaking routes everywhere. So nice job from Bryce seeing it. Again, love a little pedal. Just think when he can throw with touch like this and have the vision to kind of get this ball out and have guys with that kind of space, that's too easy. Just a really nice job here. Great call, great scheme. Watch the back here cross key as well. So they're trying to run a little pick on the left tackle. Backtracks it all the way across. Again, I can't tell you how rare it is for a back to be on the right and try to pass off a stunt with the left tackle. Okay, this is not running back school, but it's worth watching. So as he pass sets here, whatever your terminology of choice is, kick out. This defender is trying to pick him so that the outside guy can come underneath. So it sure looks like the back is going, he's got this guy right here. So as soon as they pass set and he gets a pick here, they pass this off. So watch the back and the left tackle try to sort this thing out like this and do a good enough job for a big 3rd down conversion. This is pretty awesome, man. This is the type of stuff I'm here for pass pro wise. Bam, pass it off. And again, it's not an easy matchup for any back on an edge. And he doesn't have to win, but he just can't take a huge L. That's outstanding. Hell yes. Next one here, 3rd and 3, coming out of the 2-minute 4th quarter. This is to ice the game, y'all. We complete this. This thing might be a wrap. We're going to end up throwing the flat to the number 2 up top, 88. Now, this throw is not good enough. Okay, but make no bones about it. Probably one of the few, off the top of my head, the only throw that I can think of is like a true miss, not giving us a chance at all. I think he could help himself with his base, getting lined up, all those types of things that I would always say. This play to me is called both stick. So what does that mean? That means that the outside number 1s, it's going to be mirrored on both sides. So we're going to run a stick route with a flat route. Okay, so this little flat route by the number 2. Now, again, a good throw, this thing doesn't matter. Okay, what I am going to say here is I personally think we're missing some details here from an execution, from a perimeter standpoint. So this play can be run a lot of different ways. I think of sticks, so this route, as a zone-centric route. So if it's not zone, and this sure doesn't look like zone, right? 3rd and 2, I'm trying to get a pick for the flat, is how I would want to play this. So instead of running an inside release, try to win out versus tight man coverage, which both guys do. That's why I think it's a lack of detail on the perimeter. I would want to try to set a pick for who's coming in to the flat, especially if the guy is running in motion and we can tell who's got him, who's who in the zoo. It's a little bit harder down here. But what I'm saying here is you don't want to inside release and try to win on an outbreaker here. what you want to do is run your stick into the path of the defender that you think has the flat. So again, that's a lot of me talking, saying these two guys should be running their stick routes in the path of who they think is covering the flat. So here and probably here. So I would want these things to widen and try to make this guy go over the top. Make this guy go over the top. Don't allow him to just run straight to the flat. And it's on both sides. So the first one we'll watch up top. So watch that kind of stick to win up top as opposed to stick to get a pick. So if he were to go outside there up top, he makes 21 bubble. Instead, he tries to go through the corner and can't get through him. Down here to the bottom, Thielen goes inside. So again, both of them aren't good enough for me. Okay, so inside, wrong, soft at the line of scrimmage, doesn't get anything. So too easy to the flat. Now, that's me blaming the wide receivers a lot for a quarterback missing a flat throw. Okay, it's all of the above. At the end of the day, Bryce, we can hit this throw. And we hit this throw, we ice this game. Damn. Lean into our left, not getting set up and down. I always prefer a one step. Again, I'm in the super minority with that. They go left, right. You can see he's leaning right, opening left, ball going left, drifting left, moving left. Skunk. Dang. Now we're into overtime. 3rd and 2. It sure looks like we're trying to get the out down here to the bottom to my guy 0. They hit us with a little simulated pressure. Edge runs out underneath it. We try to take off and run. Little friendly fire, trip on our own guy. Now, I think if we're being critical here, we can say a few things. One, he probably could hang in the pocket and get through this read a little bit better. Am I that mad at him for using his legs to go create? No, because he's done it for the majority of this game, and it's been good for the majority of it. So again, what I think they're trying to do here is get this, boom. What ends up happening here is we get hit with a little simulated pressure. So they end up bringing 4. He drops out way into the flat, and he's got no chance. And what I'm saying is here, could he come back and work this? Probably. I really, really dislike what I'm used to calling this now or shin route. But again, either of those are probably good options. If he were to run and scramble and go get a first down here, it'd be great. But he doesn't. So it can be all of those things. Not mad that he wants to use his legs. We've been using our legs. But could he say no to the slot down here, get back up top to either Thielen or the shin or now? Probably. Damn. Oh, instead of take off. And again, if he takes off and he gets it, it's great. I'm not sure he's going to get it there regardless. I think he can probably hang in the pocket and just get through that thing as opposed to what this looks like is 1 and run. If it happens naturally, great. Maybe he feels that color flash on the center L right there. But I think he could get it. He definitely could get it, if not to Thielen, back down to the now all the way across the field. Dang. And the last one here, walk-off winner, run. I'm going to call this duo. This is simply a great job from Hubbard. It's terrible tackling from the Cardinals as well. But this is not a premium look to run this thing. And to walk it off, there's a big old gap in there on what looks like 13 heavy personnel. It's a hell of a run. It's terrible tackling, all those types of things. I love the fact that we're at home, tough, hard-fought, walk-off win, outstanding. You got to appreciate the effort there to be able to get in, run through 2 tackles while acknowledging the fact that it's very bad tackling. I would say here, the reason I say it's not a premium look, I'm going to call this duo just downhill. Now, if you were to look and say, hey, what do you mean it's not a good look? We've got nobody in this gap, nobody in this gap, nobody in this gap, nobody in the C, D, or E gaps here. Okay. That makes sense. If we can get there, great. Now, I think when I show you how this thing gets blocked up, they still have 2 defenders here that probably should easily make this vice tackle. You'd love to come back and throw like nobody in the middle of the field post. Totally understand why we're running it here. Let's just go through the blocking on how this thing would be blocked up. So they've got this thing gapped out. They've got essentially 6 defenders right here. So we're going to need 6 blockers. Everything is gap, 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 gap. Now this guy, this is the tough one. Okay, this looks like an extra offensive lineman. Technically, he's got to go all the way down here. Now, if 3 shows up here, he can take him on the way, and then 82 would go. But he's got this gap, so he's got to go all the way to there. It's a tough block right here for 82 on Bubba as he kind of tries to hit this thing, or Buddha, I should say, sorry. And then we've got one more. But again, you don't have to be a math guru to realize they've got 2 on 1 here. So again, it presents like a premium look because of the bubble here, but really, they've got you outnumbered. They just don't execute well. This is one of those ones this is why defensive coaches are always pissed, because this is made to order defensively, and we score. Again, I always love making corners tackle, but man, 34's got to make this play. Holy moly. Walk it off. Love the energy there. My guy 50, look at him. Loving it. Bryce showing up in the celebration. There's a lot to like here, man. So that is a wrap. Bryce Young, week 16, seemingly continuing to get better and better and better. And it's really fun to watch him kind of endure early on in the year to come out, get another opportunity to play well, and seemingly to continue to get better and better. There were a number of things that were really exciting in this game. Was it perfect? No. Did we leave a couple throws out there? Sure. Some decisions maybe in the red zone I'd like to see clean up and let rip? Sure. But man, playmaker, creative, using his legs, touch, down the field, beating pressure, taking big hits, making timely throws. Pretty outstanding. It really is. He's been a great story this year. Really fun to turn on the tape and see a guy playing at this high of a level. Fired up to see more. Thank you so much for hanging to the end. I will see you next time. Have a good one.